All right. If you are tuning in to training on Skyslope, you're in the right place right now. We're being streamed live on YouTube. This will be archived for any agent that wants to see it. But we'll wait 1 second till we get some folks up and ready to go. And so welcome. My name is David Harbour. I'm with eXp Realty. If you're getting this, it either means that you're in my downline or you're maybe interested in eXp and learning more about some of the tools that we have to offer. So what we're going to do is every Wednesday, we're going to cover a different tool that eXp has to offer. And there's so many of them. So these are going to be about 30 minutes. It's not going to be, going into extreme in-depth detail, but it's going to cover what are these tools, how do I use them, and what do they integrate with, and a couple of other questions that we'll get answered for you. But as I said, my name's David Harbour. I've been here 12 years, and today on our very first Wednesday eXp Tools and Technology, we're going to cover Skyslope. So what is Skyslope? Skyslope is a transaction platform that eXp utilizes for agents, for their listings, for their sales, for digital signatures in a variety of different applications. And it's great. It integrates with Google products, your calendar, your email, and it's super easy, super intuitive. And I love it. I love it. It keeps everything right there at your fingertips whenever you need to take a snapshot of a transaction or share it with somebody. And for us, the way we utilize it is that everything gets uploaded into the system. I'll just give you a kind of a macro version of it, and then we'll jump into it. But whenever you have a ratified contract or listing or paperwork from a rental, you'll upload it. It'll be reviewed by our brokers and contract quality control folks, and they'll look at it and communicate with you to say, hey, you missed something here. We need this addendum. And it's very, very efficient. And then what happens is for us, once we found out that you've uploaded all the necessary paperwork, you're getting ready to settle, they'll communicate with the settlement company in order to coordinate the commission disbursement. So it's very, very effective. Also, if you're working with teams, you have the ability right within the platform to share exactly what the split is on that particular transaction, if there's a transaction coordinator fee to be paid out, and various other notes. So let's jump into it. I'm going to do a screen share right here, and we're going to dive into Skyslope. Okay, guys, let's do it. So, all righty. We are looking at, this is Skyslope right here. This is their website, skyslope.com. But it's what they say is, welcome to your command center. It's a self-driving transaction and peace of mind compliance software. What does it do? Well, it's a fully integrated product suite from contract to close. And this is a screenshot here. We're going to be diving into a live version of it, but it does everything from manages your transactions to archives them. There's to-dos, ticklers. You can actually store files and forms on here, and it has a digital format to it. It's an all-in-one built-in technology, which is awesome. There's also some other features on here through what they call Breeze, where they have a disclosure platform. Obviously, Skyslope DigiSign is the electronic signature portion of it. Forms, where it integrates with your local MLS or association to get your contracts. SkyTC is for transaction coordinators to help you upload your paperwork. And then member benefits. I don't know what member benefits are. So maybe they have an affiliate link let's see, why associations choose it. I think that that's just with some associations have this built in to offer to their members. So let's jump into Skyslope. So here we are. This is, I'm actually logged into my, dashboard, if you will. And as you can see across here, it's very easy to read. You've got scheduled closings this month, active, pending, closed this month, and expired this month, and then expired listings for, let's see, expired listings and expired escrows this month. Gives you a quick snapshot. The clickable icons that we have here on the front page are manage transactions from left to right, create a transaction, manage your listing, create a listing, the digital signature format. There's the incomplete checklist, if you will, canceled contracts, archive, task and reminders, and then working documents. So I'm going to start in with creating a transaction. It's as simple as, plug and play. It's going to ask you, how would you like to start this transaction? And you'll be able to start it very easily with, let's see, just by plugging in the address, if you will. I'm going to select this one right here, and it's going to automatically populate, and you're going to see this transaction. It won't have an MLS number just yet. If it does, you can put it in there. And then it's going to ask you if there's a co-buyer agent, what is the source of the lead. I believe a lot of this is customizable from the administrative side of it. Is it an office lead? When was the acceptance date? This is all the general information regarding the actual contract. Now, once you get through that, I'm gonna dive in here, and I'm gonna show one that just closed here, but it's already filled out. Sparkleberry, 424 Sparkleberry. Let's try it. Use my typing. There we go. So right in here, once you actually set up the basics of a transaction, you'll see that you have tabs here of what is the transaction information. This is, all the details of the property, who the seller is. It actually gives you a unique email also. So if at any time you upload a document, all you have to do is send it to that email, and it automatically sends it to the document folder for this particular transaction. There's all the information regarding this, the sale, the sales price, the closing date, and also if you're in different MLSs or you have different contracts, you have the ability to set up different checklists, and I'll explain what that is here in a second. The next tab right here is you have the ability to put in all the different players within that transaction. So whether you're buyers, sellers, title company, lender, home warranty, put all their information right into here. Okay. The next one is the commission portion of it. It's going to let you dictate what your commission is, if you're splitting it with somebody, and make out specific notes about if you have any additional payments or the commission breakdown. That way, within our company, that lets our financing and accounting folks know who they need to make the checks to, and accordingly. The next one is referencing that drop-down checklist. So every state, every area within that state has different contracts that are required for ratification. And so here in Northern Virginia, we have, a set number of addendums, disclosures that we need in order to make this a solid contract. And so what you can do is you have the ability to create what are called checklists. And this just notifies you and somebody within your company or a transaction coordinator or your broker to say, hey, do you have a buyer's agency agreement? Do you have a wire fraud? Do you have whatever necessary documents you have? And if you don't, they can make comments here saying, hey, David, you need to upload this one, or you're missing an initial on the residential property disclosure, okay? And that goes for not only the contract as you're in it, but also post-closing documents. So for the, settlement, final settlement docs, copy of the commission check, copy of the CDA, these are all required within eXp, but it might be something different for your company. These are all fully customizable. Once you've got them set up, your checklist is set. So the next tab over here is documents. So this is where you can upload all of the documents that are pertaining to that deal. And I'm even talking about maybe title insurance, maybe I'm talking about the home inspection report or the pest inspection report, anything that's that you're dealing with that particular deal can get uploaded here. And the neat thing about it is that you can either individually send these, you can send it to that email, it'll get uploaded to this folder, or say I've got one PDF and I've got 50 pages and I've got to split that up into multiple documents. Well, that's not a problem, because watch what you can do here. You can click on any one of these and I can actually, I'll pull this up, but what it'll allow me to do is it'll actually allow me to split the document. So I can say, you know what, pages 1, 2, 3 is test page 1, whatever, or you can name it the other a specific document that it is. And then maybe pages 3 through 4 are disclosure, and the last one is an addendum, pages 3 through whatever. All I have to do is right from here, click split. It'll automatically split that one document into multiple documents and rename them. So when I get back to the document portion, it's put them right now into individual documents that I can store and upload right to the checklist. Very, very helpful and handy. Okay, right from here also, I can do a number of things. I can actually highlight, say I've got to send my client a copy of this. They lost theirs, the dog ate it. I can actually highlight a couple. I can click email. I can sign it. I can share the documents, or I can fax it over. Any one of those. And so, it's nice maybe at the end of the year, you send all of the closing documents to your client. So maybe they have that for their taxes and they can write off, whatever it is that's on the closing docs that their accountant allows them to do. But it's just a nice reminder, and it's at your fingertips. And you can always go in to access these documents as they're archived. Pretty cool. The log is just basically a history of everything that's been done as you work in there. So you'll be able to tell not only yourself, if your transaction coordinator or your broker is in there, they can actually leave you notes and you can see when and where, and it's archived. As far as tasks, it actually integrates with your calendar as well. So if I wanted to put in a new task, it'll allow me, maybe there are certain contingency deadlines that I want to put in here based on the contract, or tickler reminders that I need to do. I can actually put all of that on here, whether it's a task or reminder, and then actually upload it to the task field, and it'll integrate, if it is a calendar event, right with my Google Calendar, which is, again, very, very handy. And then the last one is just kind of an overview of what is actually in the property. So as you're, doing perhaps a listing agreement, or even on the buying side, you'll be able to give a synopsis of what is, how many bedrooms, is there a basement here, comments. I know that you have the MLS printout, but this is also running parallel to that you can share for this particular file that's on hand. And so what happens is once you go to contract, this will be archived and you can go and access this at any time you want, which is really, really helpful. So just like on the transaction side, if I go over here to the listing side, it's the exact same thing, but just from the listing perspective. And I can enter the listing. I can actually put in, I can do an address lookup. And what it'll do is it'll grab the information from your local multiple listing system and actually pull all the data in here. So it'll help you feed all the proper fields. It'll ask you, it's really a kind of a step-by-step that is a no-brainer. Which type of listing is this? It's a Northern Virginia residential listing. Of course, here in Virginia, we have multiple drop-down checklists, if you will, for different parts of the state that require different addendums. I can, put in here how much is the property. I'll say $950, and then it'll ask what commission and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go all the way through this, but it's the exact same thing on the listing side. You can create a listing, and it is super easy once you upload, and it has all the same features with the tasks, the calendar, the reminders that you would need. There's also a built-in digital signature format. And so it's great to have everything under one roof. So I can also have my documents, which, by the way, if I go to, actually, when we're in the front, I'll show you, but I can actually go and pull in my forms from my local association and upload them here so I can fill in all the information right into that document, do a DigiSign, that's what they call it on their format, DigiSign electronic signature format right here within the platform. And it's just like, if you've read if you've had DocuSign, or if you've had some of the other applications where they have electronic signatures. HelloFax has an electronic signature format. It's all built under one roof, which is really, really convenient. Some of the other features are tasks and reminders. So when you're doing a lot of transactions and deals, you might have particular tasks or reminders that you or your transaction coordinator or somebody on your team needs to carry out for the day. You'll be able to do that by looking at property tasks on Skyslope. And then the last thing is, drum roll, please. It's, of course, by me doing a webinar and this at the same time, it's hanging. So give me 1 second. I'm going to stop this and we're going to go. I've never had that stop while we were working on it. It's just because I'm doing a webinar here, of course, Murphy's Law. But logging back in, you have working documents as well. So maybe there's other documents that your company requires you to have that you need to upload above and beyond that you want to have access to. Not a problem. You can upload them here so you or your team has access to it. So whether it be referral agreements, here in Virginia, we have various agreements that we have, whether it's, anything that you could possibly think of that you're using that you want your team to use, you will have access to it here, which is very, very convenient. So it's really everything under one roof. Transaction from start to finish. It has digital signatures. It has the ability to schedule tasks and reminders that integrate with your Gmail calendar. And if you look over here to the right, there's a forms portion of it. So I can upload any form from my MLS for the particular contract that I'm doing here and all the addendums, which is very, very convenient. So all I have to do is reach out to the different association. I've already got NBAR, but maybe I want to GCAR. And I just click and I can add it right to the platforms on Skyslope. Very, very helpful and handy. So, for those agents that are using this, I know that they absolutely love how easy it is to use, the friendliness that it integrates with the other applications on your desktop, all the Google products. But when you talk about, I'm going to stop sharing right here. When you talk about being able to make things simple, if you hire a virtual assistant or transaction coordinator, you don't want them, having to learn something and take a long time. It's super easy and intuitive. So contracts, it allows you to put in all the information for the transaction. It allows me to actually have a digital signature. It allows me to store other documents and allows me to pull in the contracts from my association. So there you go. There's a high level look at Skyslope. It's 2:22 right now. Took me 22 minutes. Within eXp, we have more detailed training on what this tool does for you when you dive into more of the intricacies of it. But Skyslope is pretty awesome and it's a lifesaver. So there you go. There's our first class on Wednesday pertaining to Skyslope transaction platform. Get it, use it, love it, learn it. We'll see you next Wednesday for our next edition of eXp Tools. Thanks again for tuning in.